Look carefully at the best photo. Can you imagine the real price of the top bag you see in it? Upon examining the 3 openings, it may appear to some that the value of this item is not worth Rs 500. Yet what is its actual worth? Your eyes will be wide open when I tell you this. Its real price is 14,94,628. Sounds strange, right? Yes, this is absolutely true because this is not a typical bag. LV's top bag has a brand value of $23.4 billion. It is known all over the world for such expensive and luxury fashion items. And not only these bags, but the purses, shoes, t-shirts, and even the towers of this brand are priced at a higher price than you can even imagine. For celebrities and other rich people, the products of this brand act as a status symbol because only those people who are very rich can afford it. These companies are also at their best. Looking at its success, no one can imagine that this brand was started by a 16-year-old child who ran away from home. The name of this child was Louis Vuitton. He neither knew how to read nor write, and because there were no places to stay, he spent many nights sleeping in the forests. His life stories are so interesting. What is even more interesting is that despite being in a beggar-like condition, how was he able to open such an expensive company? So let us unveil all these things today and know how if a person has a different thinking, then whatever it is, dreams, he makes it a reality. Iron was born in a small village in France in 1920. He grew up working there with his family, but there was neither any facility of light nor any special facility of water. His father, whose name was Xavier, was a farmer and used to work in a mill while his mother used to work to earn extra money. Louis never studied because the nearest school to his village was 6 miles away. Louis worked with his father so that he could earn some money to help run the household. He had seen a lot of poverty in his childhood. His condition was such that he could never even imagine that his future could be good. Then, after the sudden death of his mother, this situation became even worse. Shortly after her death, Louis's father remarried, and this one, who was his stepmom, was very manipulative. She now uses Louis a lot without any reason and starts beating him whenever she feels like it. It happened to avoid all this. At the age of 13, he ran away from home, and while running away, he thought of going to Paris. But the problem was that Paris was 225 miles away from him, and Louis neither had that much money nor food to eat. That's why, without thinking much, he started the journey on foot. Due to lack of money, they started sleeping hungry in the forests on the way, and if they came across any village on their way, they used to do odd jobs in exchange for money or some food. While working in this way, I noticed this in a village. Due to industrialization, people are traveling a lot by train, for which backpacks are probably going to be required in the future. So he learned a craft to make wooden boxes. Apart from this, he learned to make different things by working with metal, stone, fabric, and wood. These small skills which he had learned by juggling to get enough food, later on, these skills changed his entire life. In this way, it took him 3 years to reach from one village to another while working. After coming to Paris, Louis got the job of making boxes very quickly because he spent so much time in his skills that they became very clear. Here, his job was to make customized boxes on the demand of his clients. And when his clients went on trips, he had to pack and unpack their boxes because at that time all the ladies in Paris wore custom dresses, which obviously requires a big backpack to carry. That's why at that time, people used to hire box makers to manage their luggage. While crossing this square, I met Iron. He started dating upper-class people, and gradually he increased his connections with them. People started liking Louis's work very much because he was very expensive in his work and used to make all types of backpacks with great precision. Then a major change came in his life when in 1851, the Queen of France also came as one of his customers. They were so impressed with the work that they added it to their personal box, which is really a huge achievement for any box. Louis, who earlier did not even have a house to live in, now got the opportunity to work with the royal people, and his journey does not end here. Apart from this, his vision was very big. After the age of 33, he got married and started his own business with whatever money he had saved by working till now. Now here he has started running his own King in the Box workshop so that he can sell the products made by him here under his own brand name. Now, the kind of luggage was made in Paris at that time. Louis noticed a big problem in it. In front of the notice, the upper part of the box made of leather is shaped so that rainwater flows from it and falls down. But due to it being in a curved shape, there were many difficulties in putting this box together, because of which they had to be kept separately one by one. There was a problem with wastage. That is why Louis started experimenting with different materials so that he could make a different bag which was lighter, more durable, and water resistant than the leather bag, the one which is flat on top and is better than a leather bag. After experimenting, Louis discovered a new idea and created a completely new design for the suitcase. His designs of these new suitcases were so good that they revolutionized Paris at that time because of his designs. The backpacks were very easy to put together. That is why his designer bags became famous within no time. Seeing such success, people without much delay released a catalog so that customers could get the backpacks of their choice designed in different varieties. After about 2 years, the demand for this beautifully designed suitcase has increased among the rich people. This suitcase became a status symbol for the rich people of that time, which every rich man had to have. Yes, just like in today's time, every rich-looking person will have an iPhone. Suitcases had become so popular that orders started coming not only from him, but from all over the world. Everything was going well in this time life. He had become rich, and his business became famous all over the world. But his happiness and success did not last long. In 1870, due to Franco's personal war, he had to leave Paris overnight and live far away in a refugee camp with thousands of people. Even after becoming so famous, his condition became such that he did not even get a full meal inside the camp. Then in 1871, after that, and it was finished, when the people came back with their families, they saw that their house and the workshop for which they had worked so hard was ruined. Even all their belongings were stolen in war. But even in this situation where people lose courage and sit down, he did not do so. He withdrew his remaining money from the bank here and started his business again. And this time, his business became famous faster than before. Because this time, even though he did not have money, he had a lot of experience. Because of war, shops were empty at many places in Paris. Took a store on rent in the middle of the city from where both the great hotel and the railway station were close. They had taken it here so that people who needed luggage would leave the hotel, take their luggage and go to the railway station. With a perfect location, Case Innovative again brought his business to the top in 1872. They were made of iron boxes and, to give them a more attractive look, the boys of Raid and Buck started making different designs in them. The advantage of this was that firstly, the luggage started looking very good, and secondly, it was easy to identify them from a distance. Seeing so much popularity, many started copying. The quality of Barelvi luggage was so good that customers preferred only the original brand. Working for 20 years, he made his business a world-famous brand. But he died suddenly at the age of 70, and his work was handed over to his son George Washington. It is said that like father, like son, George also expanded his father's LB brand globally. He also opened LB showroom in London and kept on bringing quality in the business. But at that time, other brands were copying Levi's designs. Hence, to stop them in 1896, started new monogram of its products so that it becomes very difficult for duplicate brands to copy their design. After this, George thought of giving a new look to Galloway bags. Here he put a lock on the railway bags. These were so strong that it was almost impossible for thieves to open them. In the year 1900, more than 100 employees started working in the company, and this business was increasing year by year. Then after Britain's death in 1936, LB came into the hands of his son, but with time was handed over. At that time, the condition of Friends was very bad. Due to the Second World War, Gas was asked to close his factory. If he wanted to continue his work, he had to join hands with the Nazi party, because the brands which did not collaborate with Nazir were discontinued. That's why I had to collaborate with Naji to save Co. Then in 1970, Gastrain died due to some disease. But his 3 sons did not have any special interest in that business, due to which his son-in-law took the responsibility of Doll Email VK into his own hands. And because Henry also had previous experience in business, he changed it to a retail model to grow to the next level, due to which the profit margin of LB increased by 40%, which was much higher than the profit margin of other brands because due to modernization, there was also inflation. So their sales went from $20 million to $260 million. Now after this, Henry decided to take Vuitton public in 1986 and he sold 1 million shares of his company. Money also became their winning money from here. Using them, Henry expanded La Vie worldwide on a massive level and now La Vie touched $1 billion in sales for the first time. When 16-year-old Louis Vuitton started this business, he had no idea that it could come so far. To further grow the business, Henry collaborated with luxury drinks company Morehan ESI, after which Railway Group became DMH. But even after this merger, Henry's love was not working out with its director. That's why he approached property developer Bernard Download to invest in his business. But little did he know that because of this approach, he would have to lose LB Group because he had brought his friend to help him. He backstabbed him and bought 41% shares of Railway Group and took over the majority stake of LV. Although ED filed a case against Burnett, the court was also with Burnett. That's why he is angry and cuts himself off from Nagina. After which, after only 2 votes, his family legacy went into the hands of a stranger. After taking over LVMH, Bernard, who is the CEO of this brand, is the owner of a network worth $242.6 billion. Today, he is the richest man in the world. A complete story of Sogyet Tai Loi Button. The thing to be learned from this story is that if you are passionate and know how to analyze people's problems, then you too can definitely build a successful business by understanding them. But this is also possible when you have a never give up attitude like Louis had. Now here, if you want to know the life story of one Download and how he has become the richest man in the world today, then click on this video. You will know everything in this. If you liked this video, then please like it. So I will meet you in my next video. Till then, stay stressed, take health care,